Recording. Me. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
board gamey things.
Exactly. We're back with one of our annual videos that we always do. This is our yearly recap video.
I didn't know which one we were doing until
Jeff
right now.
didn't know. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Okay.
I got it taken care of.
All right.
So today's video is a recap of the year of 2024, which was the year of Nandor. He was born in 2024.
I feel like it's the year of anxiety.
That's true. Also true. Okay, so in these videos, I need to lower my chair. I feel like tall. That's better. In these videos, what we do is we recap the year. We have some stats, we have some reflections, we have some discussion. We got so many things to talk about. And it's all going to be about the past year, which has been, how do you say, un roller coaster?
I thought you were going to say les incompetents.
2024 was les incompetents.
I feel like every year we go by, we're like, well, that was a year.
No, like I was watching our video from 2023 and we're like, this was a pretty like chill year. And that was right before, we filmed that like right before you went,
Right.
That was like right before
Yeah,
that.
that checks out.
Like 2023 is pretty good. I hope 2024
Usually
is
how
better.
our life goes. Things go good for a while and then
Yeah, exactly. All right.
crash to a halt.
So let's start off with the stats. You know I
Sure.
love me some statistics.
Yeah, you do.
So here we go. Total plays for 2024. This does include both physical and VGA for both me and Jeff. I went through yours
Did
and
I
through
crush
mine.
you?
We'll talk about it. So the total plays all together. Now, caveat, this does not include Root or Dune Imperium,
Okay.
obviously. And there may be a few physical plays that Jeff had without me. Like, I don't know if I recorded your ARCS play at Gen Con or, you know what I mean? Like, there might be a few. But 1,512 plays. Okay?
That's a lot.
Total different games, 514.
That's also a lot.
Both of which increased from, I'm not sure what to do with my hands, both of which increased from last year, thanks in huge part to BGA, honestly. Like, we played a lot of BGA games. Speaking of that, our BGA plays. So I played a total of 277 plays on BGA, 116 different games.
I blew that out of the water.
With 95 different people.
I blew that out of the water.
Jeff, on the other hand, played 694 BGA plays, 144 different games, with 102 different people.
Yeah. I beat you in every single category.
You sure did. Physical plays,
Not
that means...
it's a competition.
But it kind of is. It usually is.
Sometimes.
Physical plays, 652. It's pretty good.
It boggles my mind. Like, I feel like we haven't played a lot this year, and then you pull that out.
I know. We always feel that way. But like, and you're probably like, hey, that math doesn't work. But keep in mind, like, Jeff had 694 plays. A lot of those would have also been with me.
Sure.
So if you're like, how did math, that kind of thing.
You know, someone's gonna.
Okay? Anyways, that is a lot of games.
That is a lot of games.
Now, here's some more stats for you. Who doesn't love stats? I personally think they're fantastic. New to us games, we had a little over 302, once again, because there was probably some Jeff played that I didn't record, so I didn't have, but I did count, like, Dune War for Iraq is like...
The stats are only going to be as good as the inputter. That's
very true, and then that's me. So, new to us games, 302. So, over 300 new games to us.
Yeah.
And around 88 of those were 2024 releases. So we got through a lot of games that actually came out this year. And if you're curious, like, what were your favorite ones? We already did a video on that. If I remember, I'll link it below. We played with over 150 different people.
That's wild.
I cannot get the exact number because sometimes when I'm at a convention with a large group of people, I'll just put like PAX people. Or Gen Con people, because who's got the time?
Like when you're playing Flip 7 and there's 8 people.
Exactly.
And go through and be like, what's your name? What's your name?
Yeah, and the other thing is, in my BG stats, like, I might have played a game with Ryan at PAX Unplugged and also played a game with him on BGA. So he's inputted as two different because BGA auto inputs their username. Our biggest month for plays was February. We played, which is crazy because February is a short month. We played 127 plays in February and 82 different games. What the heck were we doing in February?
What?
February was Level Up. Also, that's crazy too, just because February is when you were sick. No, February is after. Yeah. Is when you were on the rise. So
that might be part of it.
It could be, yeah. Who knows? Because you were home.
I was home.
Not working.
I was not working. I was feeling better. I probably wanted to get into stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, though. That seems weird. Level Up would be a big part of it. I mean...
Yeah, we played a decent amount of games.
I remember sitting at Level Up playing Sea Salt and Paper just like...
Constantly.
On repeat.
And just like last year, it's no surprise, our lowest month was September. We had 33 plays and 26 games. We were at Disney.
That's always going to be the case.
Yeah, we go to Disney for 2 weeks and we don't touch board games. We maybe take our BGA turns and that's about it. So we played 32 different games over 10 times.
That's good.
That's really good. Once again, BGA. Because like, as an example, I played Distilled, I think 13 or 14 times and probably 10 of those were on BGA.
Yeah, I tend to play the same games.
Jeff does play, a lot of the same stuff.
I would say I have probably 10 games on BGA that I'm playing pretty much on repeat.
Yeah. And our most played games, I just want to mention, we already did a video for that, but if you're like, what's Jeff's Res Arcana at? Mm-hmm. It's at 86 now. It was at 73 in our video.
I'm
bananas.
I'm in two games right now.
Crazy.
I'm constantly in a game of Res Arcana. That one's just a repeat. Like, I'm always playing with Mike and Charlie on repeat, and now Ben and Ryan are playing with me as well. So
So I'll link that video below of our most played games of the year. Obviously, those numbers would have fluctuated because we did it in November and we played more games.
Yeah.
But those are the stats, okay? That was 2024 in a nutshell. Overall, I think, though it honestly didn't feel like a good gaming year for us. Like, it felt like we played way less. We got into some gaming slumps. Our mindsets weren't We didn't
get our tournament stuff done.
Nope.
I mean, it just was like a lot of flux. There was a lot of travel.
A lot of travel.
I mean, the studio...
That's all going to be...
I'm not making excuses. No. Like, we could always play games, but...
Sure.
There was just a lot of, I think, external variables causing our inability to play maybe...
as much.
But then again, the stats don't reflect that. But yes, I agree. I feel like after, we got back from Disney, that's when it just kind of all felt like we weren't playing a lot, but it's relative, right? Maybe we felt like we weren't playing as much because the year prior we were playing more. Do you know what I mean? Maybe this is just a normal year and last year was just a huge influx, but we've played more games this year because of BGA.
Yeah. So
do you think there's a correlation to the fact that BGA now puts games out at such a high... Because I remember when we were first playing BGA, it was pretty much the same games all the time.
That's true. Yeah, BGA has so many different games now, and it's like every week, the first thing that I do every day when I log on to BGA is I click games and go to see what's coming into alpha.
Before the Asmodee buyout, I'd go on BGA and there might be one or two beta alpha games. Yeah. Maybe.
Now it's every week there's 5 new ones.
Plus.
Yeah, it's crazy. So let's move into our 2024 reflection. It's kind of carrying on from this conversation. But so 2024, like we said, was a bit of a roller coaster of a year. We started off with Jeff having a major anxiety attack, which led him into the hospital, which then led us into a journey of medication, some might say. I'll try and remember to link below Jeff's mental health video below. You can hear kind of more of the story on that.
And I'm also, this is a good time, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to flag this.
Flag it.
Because of this recent comment I got. I'll just give you context. The commenter, and if you watch this, I need you to understand that those comments do have impacts because I'm talking about you right now. The comment was, Jeff doesn't seem like he wants to be there, blah, 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 blah. Basically just saying, why is he there? I feel bad for Jamie.
The relationship is one-sided.
Yeah, I feel bad for Jamie that Jeff's there and he doesn't want to be there, and it's pretty clear. What you need to understand about the medication I'm on, and I don't owe you this person if you are watching this, but I'm going to give you, hopefully, a little bit of learning. The medication I'm on does not allow me to reach this peak anymore, but it also does not let me reach this bottom.
Yeah.
So when you see me on camera and I'm kind of just floating in this middle space, it's not because I don't have any interest in being here. It's because I don't have the same spectrum of excitability that I used to have in the past. Mm-hmm. So what I would ask anyone that's going to comment on any video, whether it's mine or someone else's, is understand that you don't understand what their life has going on at any capacity. Mm-hmm. And don't pretend like you do. And don't pretend like saying things about people doesn't impact them. Because it does. I will digress by stating, understand and give people grace, because you do not understand what they're going through. Mm-hmm. Myself included.
I guess since we're talking about reflections, I will say in 2024, we've received a lot of...
I do not know why, but yeah.
Comments on our videos.
I'm sure it has to do with growth and new people coming.
Sure. But like this, we actually did say this. I don't think we said it in this video last year, but it was probably in our resolutions video. Just think before you post something. You know, a lot of times we will either just hide your comment, delete your comment, but sometimes when we're feeling spicy, we'll fight back a little, and then that's when people who have said something really mean kind of like come back twofold and even harder, and it's just... it's a bad look for you. So as soon as you come back harder, and one of the things that I have enjoyed doing this year, which I'll probably continue doing, is if somebody says something really stupid or mean, I just comment back with, what do you mean? And then I let them continue to embarrass themselves for their comments. But like, what's the deal here, peeps? Don't do that.
I just want to say two things. One, I don't want this whole video to become, like, because normally when we talk about this stuff, then the comments just get flooded with like,
I can't believe people do that.
I can't believe people do that. Or just ignore, and like, listen, before you even start saying that, yes, ignore the negative comments, whatever. But you have to understand on this side of the camera, that it's not always easy. Mm. It's easy to throw that comment out and be like, hey, just ignore them. And great, yes, you can ignore 85% of them. But sometimes we're human beings and it gets through. So again, before you say all that, just understand, yes, we understand that, and that is what we try to do. Mm-hmm. And two, like, if you are a person that provides unsolicited feedback, like, for example, like someone commented and said, I prefer your old studio. This one is barren and whatever. It's like, yeah, well, we're not ready to go yet. Like, we're
obviously it's not done.
We're still in the process of moving. And also, like, we are putting ourselves in a public position where, yes, we're going to have to deal with those comments, but unsolicited feedback, in my opinion, is always rude. Yeah. Like, if we do a video asking about your feedback and your opinion, provide it. If you don't like something, you don't need to leave a comment about it. You can just not watch.
All that to say, that's just part of the reflection of 2024, and obviously it's on our mind because we've just been getting a lot, and it kind of like grinds you down a little bit to be like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, but and 90% of the comments are wonderful, and we love them, and we love the people who love watching our videos, and that's who we make the content for. We don't make it for the people who hate it, obviously. All right, so 2024. Here's some other things that happened. It was the year, last year we're like, next year's the year where people visit us. Yeah. And it was. So Nick came to visit us in February because he just had to see Canada in the winter time. What a silly
Is he coming back? He's been talking about it.
I hope so. Nick, you coming back? So Nick came to visit for, I think it was like 10 days. Yeah. And it was awesome. We played a lot of games. Actually, Nick came in February.
Definitely.
That's why we played so many games in February.
Yes, that makes so yeah, Nick visited. And 2 cons, and one was a play con.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Out. So Nick came to visit. Max and Danielle from Table Knots came to visit for, I think they were here for like 8 days, and that was great. We watched a ton of movies, played games, did some touristy stuff. It was awesome. And then our friends Ben and Sarah came to visit. Same deal. Watch movies, play games, eat food.
Yeah.
Ben ate his body weight in cereal.
Yeah. Yes.
It was wild.
I've never seen a man eat so much cereal.
Crazy.
In my life.
But those are the people that came to visit us. We didn't go to visit anyone, but we did travel a lot, which we'll get to. We went to Disney. Our first...
Did I not go to Kentucky this year?
Nope, that was last year.
Man.
We did our first ever just Jeff and Jamie Disney trip this year, and it was amazing. We had the best time ever because we just got to do whatever we wanted. We ate so much food, amazing food. It was awesome. I got COVID, and that wasn't super fun. I found out because I couldn't smell my Kentucky coffee.
That's
what
true.
A travesty.
Yep.
I was like, I've made this coffee, and now I can't even smell it or taste it.
Then you gave it to me.
Yeah. I was like, smell this. Anyways.
No, I mean, you gave me COVID.
I'm pretty sure we both had it at the same time. We got it from Gen Con, of course. Jeff started working for Dice Throne this year.
Yeah. So
you left the tech world, followed in my footsteps of leaving the tech world to come into board gaming.
Yeah.
And now you haven't even been with them for a whole year. That's crazy. It feels like it's been a year.
It'll be a year in April. I started in April. It's been great. My role is changing. So I'm off right now. We're back. Studio opens again on the 6th of January. And my role is changing. I'll be doing a little bit more behind the scenes digital stuff. I'm excited for. The team's phenomenal. I've loved every moment of working there, even in the very difficult times. It's a great team. It's a great environment, and I'm looking forward to. Definitely looking forward to the new role because I think it's way more in line with what my skill set is and what I come from in tech, and so I'm looking forward to pushing that envelope into next year for sure.
Speaking of that, Jeff did some contract work. He did a website for Van Ryder Games. He did our website. You redid our website, which looks so cool.
Yeah, I want to. There's more stuff. It's finding time to do it. There's more I want to do on our website. The Van Ryder contract was great. I mean, the site's live. If you want to go check it out. I also too there's the website for your
Cozy Golf Studios.
Cozy Golf Studios. We need to hash out.
Yep.
There's a lot of website work for the Kickstarter stuff that we need to do. So
yes.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a good year, I think, from that capacity, professional capacity, I guess.
Yes. Now we talked about Jeff's mental health a little bit, but Jamie didn't have such a great mental health year either. Though Jamie hides it a little bit better.
A lot better.
A lot better. I reached a point in the summertime where it was too much.
Yeah.
I was doing too much, basically. It was like the biggest burnout crash I think I've ever had in my life, which led me to the decision to go down to part-time for Van Ryder, and which ultimately led me to the decision to say goodbye to my Van Ryder family, sort of. So I am leaving Van Ryder. Actually, I've left. My contract would have ended on December 31st, which is today that we're filming it. Oh, sad. I should message everybody. But never fear, because they're keeping me on contract. So I will still be streaming Final Girl over there. I'll still be doing the podcast with them and some video stuff. So it's just like a wave from a distance instead of like a big goodbye, which is like the perfect case scenario because the Van Ryder team is incredible. Obviously, I freaking love Final Girl. I love everyone there and everything they do. So it was an amazing time with them to learn more about the industry, but I have said goodbye, which means I am full-time Foster the Meeple.
Yeah, which is, I think, very, very exciting. I've been pushing for this for Jamie for a while. But with that, there comes risks and, pivoting and responsibilities. I mean, primarily financially based that we now
need to make some more considerations.
Yeah, and we think this is a viable path forward, but again, if it ends up failing or whatever, then Jamie might have to return to work, and we'll have to figure that out in the future. But again, we're going to take it month by month and assess things as they come, and it's going to be great. I'm really excited for it. I'm cautiously optimistic, I think is the best way I can put it.
Same.
Yeah, I'm just excited for Jamie to be able to hopefully set some better boundaries
with myself.
with herself, which she has failed to do thus far.
Java is always telling me stop working.
For example, I'm very much of the opinion that Jamie should not be doing work on weekends or after, say, 5 or 6 o'clock. Jamie tends to disagree with me, but
I like to work.
We need to get to a point where Jamie can grab her Steam Deck and just play some games and not think, because the problem with Jamie is that she constantly feels guilty when she's not doing something productive.
That's true.
And that's the hurdle we need to get over when it's, I understand it. I also work after hours, so I don't really have a leg to stand on this, but I don't feel the inherent guilt that Jamie feels, and I don't think that's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So when Jamie's sitting at 7 o'clock at night watching a movie or playing on her Steam Deck, she doesn't have that thing in the back of her brain being like, well, I could be editing a video, or I could be doing this, that, and the other thing. That's the hurdle that we need to get over in 2025, as well as we keep an eye on finances and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Money spending diet. So far, I failed that diet. I've been shopping.
Yeah, we need to. I mean, and there's a lot of decisions we're going to need to make moving forward with the channel too. Like
conventions.
There's going to we just can't afford to go to as many conventions anymore. We can't afford to do a lot of the things that we've had the benefit of doing in the past, and that's okay. We've made this as a conscious decision. This wasn't a product of some sort of like layoff or whatever. Like we consciously made this decision, and with that in place, we need to consciously make those decisions that require us to keep a little bit closer eye on our finances.
Yep. Speaking of conventions, we went to so freaking many this past year. So we did Level Up. It was the first one of the year, and we loved it. We loved it so much that we are going back. So that will be at the end of January, beginning of February this year. If you're going, you will see us there. And that was our first time at Level Up. And like I said, we loved it. Loved it. We got to spend so much time with our Discord members. And I think that is the beauty of that specific convention, because the struggle that we have is we have so many friends in the creator space. Mm-hmm. We have developed really good friendships within our community as well. Mm-hmm. And it's so hard to divide your time. But this is the one convention that we're like, no, this is for our community and playing games and hanging out with friends and doing that kind of thing.
Which
and
can still be difficult. I mean,
oh yeah, because we do have our creator friends are going as well.
Well, not only just that, but like there are instances where you'll play a game with someone in the community, and then it's like, you want to play another? Do you want to play another? And it's like
you got to spread the love a little.
Yeah, you got to spread the love, and then it's trying to articulate that to them without hurting feelings and what have you.
Sure.
So I mean, we love Level Up. It's just it's a good combination of being able to play with community members and friends and focus on gameplay.
I went to Gamma for the first time, which was my favorite convention of the year, because it's just a really good business convention for the channel. I'm hoping to go again this year, but I'm just not sure with flights and hotels and all of that stuff, so we'll see. We went to BGG Spring for the first time, another PlayCon. We went to quite a few PlayCons this year, actually, and we loved BGG Spring.
Yeah.
The problem is Dallas. It's a trek for us to get there.
It's very expensive for us to get there.
It's very expensive for us to get there, and we usually have to take not just one layover, but often 2 layovers. But spoiler alert, we did go to BGG Con in November as well. I think this year I'll probably do Spring, but probably not BGG Con.
I will not be doing either.
Jeff's not going to be doing either, and we'll kind of talk about that in a bit.
But this is also part of the making the decisions.
Sure.
It's cheaper for one of us to go than two.
And it's just we love the BGG Cons because we can get a lot of concentrated, dedicated time with Nick and Mike. Mm-hmm. And we love Nick and Mike.
Charlie.
And Charlie, of course, and Keith,
when he comes.
And the BGG team. But I'm just saying, that, because they're in the same boat as us. I'm speaking of Nick and Mike in particular. They have to spread their time, but we get to spend lots of time with them there. Then we went to Circle DC, which was our first wargaming convention. And this, actually, I lied. I said Gamma.
When you said Gamma, I was like, okay.
I wasn't thinking to the future.
I mean, it is different enough.
Circle DC was our favorite convention this year because it was so different. We met so many new people. We went there alone, and we didn't know really anyone that was going to be there, with the exception, of course, of Kevin, who runs it.
We hadn't met Kevin.
We hadn't met him in person
at that time.
And we made so many amazing friends. Like, we are so excited to go back this year, and we're bringing more people with us. Like, Sam's going to come and Charlie's going to come, and
is Keith coming? No, Keith's not coming.
Keith's not coming, but somebody else might come, but I'm not going to say who. And we're just going to have the best time ever.
Yeah. So we should quickly mention, in case you haven't heard, Circle DC is a primarily wargaming convention with a lot of designers that go, wargaming designers.
A lot of the GMT team.
And there's a lot of prototypes floating around, and it's just a really, really great. Kevin hosts a phenomenal convention.
Yeah.
And I absolutely, it's by far my favorite. I adore it.
From best to worst, Gen Con.
Done.
I'm sorry. We do not enjoy Gen Con. It is so overwhelming. It is so hectic. Watching people run through a convention to get board games that they could just get later boggles my mind. I mean,
it's like a couple weeks early too.
The vibes are off for me, and we don't really enjoy the city. So Gen Con, we both had to go for work. Working Gen Con I would say, it makes it a little bit more bearable.
It's my preferred way of experiencing Gen Con, but
Same.
that still doesn't mean I enjoy experiencing Gen Con.
No, yeah, I just don't know. Like, you can't really play games that much. Like, you can't really shop because people are just bashing into you. And anyways, Jeff's definitely, I don't think, going to Gen Con this year unless he gets called to do it for work.
Yeah.
I am not sure. I know that, like, there's a possibility, like, Van Ryder's going to have some events and stuff. It would be cool for me to be there with my promo card and all of that stuff. So it's up in the air for me. I just don't know. We already talked about BGG Con in November. PAX Unplugged. Of course, we went to PAX Unplugged. And this year we had our very first, like, not scheduled, but I would call this our first, like, official meetup. We do a meetup every year. But this one, we had a room, we had gifts, we had giveaways, we had some structure of a plan. We talked about it in our PAX Unplugged recap, but we had over 120 people come, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And we love PAX, and I think I'm most likely going next year.
I won't be.
Jeff probably won't be. That makes me feel really sad.
I mean, again, the changes to PAX have...
It's just timing and... Yeah.
It's timing, and it's becoming way more expensive. And Jamie has the option of staying with a friend to help offset some of those costs. And as soon as you add me into that variable, it just doubles everything. And it's just, again, we have to make smarter decisions.
Yeah. I also attended Canada Plays this year, which was primarily like publishers and creators only. It's not really open to the public, but it was also fantastic. And Jeff went to GameCon Canada in Edmonton for work.
Yes.
So those, and then of course we had 2 Gaggle Cons. We did one in March and we did one just a few weeks ago in December. That's our little just
I mean, to be fair, that's my favorite con. But
yes. To be very clear.
It's not really a con.
It's not really. It's like just we just hang out basically, but it's with Rodney and Christy and we play. I was actually saying this because I did a video for our Patreons of like my short 20, my long 30 for the 2024 games. We play banger after banger after banger at GaggleCon because most of the games that we play at GaggleCon end up on that list somewhere.
That's true. Yeah, Rodney picks out some bad boys for sure.
That's true. We also ran a Kickstarter this year.
Yep.
Our first ever Kickstarter. And it was crazy. We had 347 backers at the initial Kickstarter. And I do just want to mention our late pledges are open. So if you missed out on the Kickstarter, you're still interested, we're going to leave them open probably until February and then just close them off. But with that, we are going to be doing a bunch of fun content that was unlocked. Jeff's going to have to read Fairy Smut, which we're very excited about.
James is already starting to have conversations about what that book is going to be.
Yep. We also have to play Pandemic Season 0.
We got to
buy it. Juno is going to do her first ever top 10.
That's going to be fun.
That's going to be great. We are going to find a week in the year where we are going to try and play as many games from our collection as we possibly can and see how many we can get through, keeping in mind our collection's like 1,500 games. There's going to be... I have to play Agricola.
I have to play Final Girl.
Jeff has to play Final Girl and watch Bridgerton. So there's a bunch of stuff.
It was really very heavily anti-Jeff things.
Which was fun for me because I created most of it. So anyways, there's going to be some other stuff. And we are kind of talking back and forth internally right now between us about whether or not we are going to run another Kickstarter in this coming year.
Given everything we've already stated,
yes,
we
probably
I
will.
would say we're 95% sure we're going to probably run another
But
one.
I think, just from like the experience, we didn't really offer anything besides us. So I think in this next one, we will try to offer some other things, like some exclusive merch, maybe even like a print and play game. Like, we're kind of toying with the ideas. So in the comments below, if there's something that you'd be dying for, you let us know. Okay?
Yeah.
And we will try to make it happen. And then, of course, the Kickstarter led to us being able to get this studio, which, once again, is still a work in progress. Yes. Obviously, this is not the finished wall.
No.
Anyways, I did get the light diffuser, so if you're watching this, can you tell me if it looks any less harsh? I don't know. I'm just fiddling with the lights. We'll see how that goes. But we have the new studio. We're obsessed with it, and it's almost done. Okay. Gameathon. We did run the Gameathon this past year, and it was amazing, but it didn't save. So if you snoozed, you lose. You didn't get to see it. So the plan for this year, once again, we did announce this already before, but it will be the 22nd and 23rd of March. And guess what?
What?
We're not going to be alone this year.
We aren't.
We're not going to be alone this year. We have called in some backup with our friends Ben and Sarah.
We have a couple of our very good friends coming to help us get through it.
They are flying in to help us through the Gameathon because the struggle is we're only 2 people. We have to take shifts sometimes, and Jeff doesn't really take shifts on his own.
No.
So I have to be up pretty much the entire time. Yep. And this is going to be much more helpful. We'll have 2 more people, so we can have some 4-player, 3-player, 2-player, solo. We can have the whole gambit, and we're going to set up like a slumber party here at the office, and it's going to be amazing. March 22nd and 23rd. Put it in your calendars. We're, of course, going to do giveaways and contests and like interaction and everything. Yeah. This time we will be breaking it down into 4 parts instead of one long thing. So it'll be more consumable after. And
4 parts as in like we're going to stop and restart it.
We'll schedule 4 separate streams that you'll have to get notifications for. But basically anything that's longer than 12 hours, YouTube won't save. So we want to make sure people that couldn't attend get to watch it later. Yeah. And this year we're going to be doing some behind the scenes stuff for our Patreon community. Yeah,
maybe there's going to be a Jeff Napcam.
There could be.
There could be a Jeff Napcam.
And there could be a Ben cereal cam.
Ben cereal counter.
Yeah, and a Jamie coffee cam and a Sarah Alani cam. Like, who knows? It's going to be crazy. So that's just, once again, we don't really shout out our Patreon a ton, but I did just want to shout it out because now that I am full-time, there's going to be more stuff happening over on Patreon, including that.
I also want to throw out too, because there's always lots of comments about this. We did not get to do our Villainous tournament this year, our Dice Throne tournament, as well as an unmatched tournament that we've been talking about doing for multiple years. It is happening. So just stay tuned.
Yes, so we do hope to do the Villainous tournament in January. Dice Throne, we're just going to wait until the new stuff comes out. So
X-Men.
Whenever that happens.
Just to be clear. Just X-Men.
Just X-Men.
Not Outcast.
No. And then Unmatched is just when we have time. Okay, YouTube, very quickly. We did 165 videos this year. Pretty good. 15 live streams.
I mean, that would be pretty consistent.
It's pretty consistent.
Year over year, right?
I did skip a couple videos this year. However, I also added a bunch of videos this year. Like, there were some weeks where there were like 5 videos because of previews and all of that stuff. It is what it is. 15 live streams we did. Pretty good. No Twitch. We left Twitch. We said, farewell Twitch. It just wasn't twitching for us, and that's fine. We reopened Everyday Magic. We did 4 videos on there so far.
That'll be increasing.
It'll be increasing. It's just not very consistent right now. But Jeff has restarted his retro streams, and he's done 8 of those. Yep. And those happen over on Everyday Magic with Foster the Meeple.
Yeah, and that's going to get... I haven't done them in about a month.
Because of travel and Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. That I just made a post in our Discord that it's not going away. once we get through the holidays here.
Exactly.
Back
I
on.
plan to start streaming over there as well, some cozy video games,
Mhm.
also Lego builds,
Yep.
and some other fun things.
I'll probably start doing
hobby stuff.
I might start doing some painting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do some painting through the Kickstarter, but I might start doing it outside of that as well.
Yeah.
Because I would like to get back to painting.
Yeah. Now, we have a couple things that we usually talk about every year. Number one would be our most surprising games. I've written down some that I just thought kind of surprised me, but if you think of anything else, please let me know.
Sure.
But one of those, for me, is Full Throttle.
Yeah.
A Friedman Freeze game.
Yeah.
How much fun did I have playing that
You
game?
had a lot of fun playing that game.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
And it's like a Friedman Freeze game that I hadn't really heard of before, and we just kind of pulled it out at BGG-Con.
Mm-hmm. Just quickly, it's a racing game on mopeds.
It's like Camelot without the Quasi Camels, and it's just as silly.
Did you mean to say it like that?
Yeah, Quasi Camels.
Okay.
Quasi. Anyways, that was one. Get Bit.
Yep.
I have something to say about the Table Knots crew.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a game for tiny children.
And they played it wrong.
And they played it wrong.
That's dueling. I have no idea how he screwed that up.
And they had a horrible time. And I'm like, how do you have a horrible... We played this with Nick. He had a great time. That was a shocker.
They kept leaving the person that got bit in the back. So the person that was in the back had no way to move forward. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that would suck.
Another one for me was Walking Dead, the dice game.
Yeah, you were loving that for a while.
It's so ridiculous, and like Jeff and I played it a bunch, and then Nick and I played it, and it never ended. We just had to quit the game because nobody would win.
Yeah, I remember that happening.
Queen by Midnight, Quarter Past.
Yeah, that's a me thing. I love dueling games, and that is a very good. You can play it more than two, but I very, very much enjoyed playing that 2-player, and I would like to play it again. Maybe do we have it here?
I don't know.
Maybe that's something we can play today.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just hit. It sung.
Slaps.
I liked it a lot, and
And we didn't know anything about it.
No, I haven't played the original, like Queen by Midnight. I didn't play that. This was my first experience in that world, and I very much enjoyed it.
And then last but not least is Dogs of War. And I think had you heard about it before we played it?
I'd only heard about it recently because I knew that
a new one was
Play to Z was doing it. But I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a miniature game, to be completely honest with you. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how it played. I just knew that this was an older game that was being re-implemented. And yeah, it was very, very good.
So good.
Very much in our alley, though. So take that for what it is. It's very much same as...
It's mean.
Honestly, same as Queen by Midnight, Quarter Past. It's very in our lane. So I could see people not quite enjoying those as much as we do. It's very, very in tune with what we like.
Yeah, but those are 5 games that just took us by surprise. Specifically Walking Dead, the dice game. If you're not playing that game, what are you playing?
Yeah.
So fun. Favorite video of the year. We usually pick one. I have a list, but I am going to say for me, my favorite one that I did was a love letter to board games because it was different. It allowed me to kind of like be creative, which is something that I enjoy and I don't always get to do on the channel as much anymore. And I would say yours is probably...
I mean, I have 2, I think. Yes, that is one. But if you're counting the Game-a-thon, I would say the Game-a-thon because the first Game-a-thon we did,
Jeff I was sick,
so I didn't get to experience it.
Yeah.
And then this one was very challenging just because I cannot stay up that long. But like waking up at like 3 a.m. to play Tinder Blocks was just bonkers fun. And like, you know, those are like core memory things. You know, I think we do like a ton of content. We play a ton of games now that like there's these pockets of memories that kind of stick out. Like, I don't know how many times Jamie or a friend of ours will be like, hey, do you remember this? I'm like, nope. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just play so many games that they don't stick out as much.
Yep.
But, you know, stuff at the Gameathon, like, it really becomes, like, just a full experience, which I really enjoy. But, yeah, the mental health video, I think, is probably the most important thing I've done in a long time, you know, just in general. I mean, I've had people come up to me at multiple conventions. I've had dads come up to me telling me that it helped their kids. I've had dads come up to me and tell me it's helped them. the whole spectrum gamut of people that have come up and said how much that video helped them. And that's, I mean, quite honestly, that's why I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been debating whether or not I wanted to do a follow-up to that.
Maybe sometime this year.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily so much about like my personal journey anymore, because I feel like the first video kind of, took care of that. But, just continuing to
have the conversation
so that honestly men feel comfortable being able to talk about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's, there's a generational issue and as well as a male issue when it comes to talking about feelings and emotion.
Yep, true. Another one that I really enjoyed was our On the Record, but I don't know that we can do it.
Yeah, I would agree with you that I very, very, very much
really
like
nice.
that series, but with
copyright. Yeah, we just can't. If you can figure out a way for us to do that without getting in trouble, please let us know.
Actually, like, because people are like, we'll just use uncopyrighted music, but the point
is that we put on the record.
The point of the video is that we play the record and play the music we want to listen to. And luckily, like, in the first one we did, Lumineers allows their music to be, and we didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't monetize it or anything like that.
Yeah, Lumineers allows their music to be kind of used in that way. But a lot of music doesn't.
We can't risk getting the channel shut down.
We don't want our channel to be shut down because, again, now it's Jamie's pretty much 100% of her revenue stream.
Ooh,
so
yeah. Last but not least, our favorite thing of the year. I could go first.
Sure.
My favorite thing of this year is that we got to spend a lot more dedicated one-on-one time with people. Jeff and I, our buckets get filled by having like genuine conversations, not doing small talk, not doing like big group things, but having like a dinner with somebody.
I like talking about life.
Yeah. And we got to do that a lot more this year. So like at conventions, instead of going to like every event and doing all these things, instead we're like, hey, let's have a dinner and just be people,
and talk
be humans.
About us and not talk about what's going on in board games. Like
exactly.
What do you do outside of board games? What do you like to do?
Yeah, so that's definitely a big one for me. And we got a new kitten, which has been really fun. And then Disney. It was not board game related, but Disney was the best.
Yeah, I think Disney probably for me. Disney allowed us, I think, to open up some creative outlets that we maybe hadn't thought of before. Jamie's a very gifted artist, drawer. And while we're at Disney, we had a lot of downtime where we didn't have to think about anything else. We didn't have to think about doing videos. We didn't have to think about work. So it allowed us to kind of explore some other stuff. And I think boredom's a good thing because when you're bored, you follow an avenue that maybe you wouldn't otherwise. And so we were kind of just sitting in the room and it was a rainy day and Jamie started drawing and that led into this bigger thing with, her opening up her shop again and she's starting to take classes and all of these other things. And it allowed me to start writing a book that I've been wanting to write for my entire life, effectively. I've had a story in my brain since I was a kid, and I just started writing at the suggestion and support of Jamie and Ben and Sarah. And I started writing it, and I wrote a prologue and then 2 chapters. And if we weren't at Disney, I don't think I would have done that.
Yeah.
Like, quite honestly. And I know that sounds weird, but being able to go somewhere where you don't have to think about anything and you can just fully be in that space of boredom opens up, I think, an avenue of stuff that's interesting.
It was something that we very much so needed.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that again. I'm looking forward to being able to just go somewhere and not have to think about anything.
Same. Love that. Love not thinking. The last thing, just leading into kind of what Jeff said, is that I am going to be opening a new shop at the end of January. The link is going to be in the description below. There is going to be lots of different things. Like I'm going to be selling some of my old stock from my old Etsy shop. So bookmarks, magnets, there's going to be lots of stickers. And then I'm just going to keep adding and adding and adding products to it as time goes on. So if you are interested, you can actually click the link and then follow that along to get notified when it opens.
I'll just mention the site is basically just a landing page right now, but there is a form to follow along. So if you fill in for your information, as soon as launch happens and whatever, it just allows Jamie to communicate to you more effectively.
Yes, and that was 2024, and now we are in 2025, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a great year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to 2025. I think it's going to be a good year for taking a step back, resetting, and maybe like recalibrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we're going to get into that stuff in our next video.
We sure are. Yeah. But that is everything we have. Let us know down below what was your favorite game of the year. Just tell us, how did your 2024 go in the comments. We'd love to know. But that is everything that we have for today. Now, if you're interested in buying board games, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
And if you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye.
Later days.
I've added a piece of decoration to the background for the person that complained about how much they hated our new set.